The Pistons are the basketball champions of the world.
Detroit, it's time. It's playoff time, Detroit. Let's go to work.
Shout out Detroit. I got to buff up, you know what I'm saying? Detroit, I'm all the way in. Detroit Pistons, I'm all the way in. Let's do it.
What's up, Pistons fans? This is the best POD in the 313, the Buffs On podcast, -1. Amit cannot join us, but you got the brother Vital, Connie Valley Gabe. And we're here to talk some Detroit Pistons, and it's probably going to be a lot of doom and gloom in this podcast because the last time we recorded was after the win in Orlando, and the Pistons have now dropped 4 straight. Some of those were against good teams, some of those were against bad teams, and all of them were stinkers. So yeah, let's just get right into it. Again, I want to just start with the Spurs. That I feel is the most honorable loss of these losses. I've said it before. I think the Spurs are they are cooking right now. They're playing outstanding basketball. They look like a team that is a veteran team, but just full of guys that are even younger than the Pistons, and they have the perfect counter to us in Victor Wembanyama. Now the difference from last Spurs game to this Spurs game, which I thought was going to be even better with Isaiah Stewart out there, is he torched us. Last game, I thought we got into him a little bit offensively. He wasn't great. He still played an outstanding defensive game, but this game he did everything, and the Pistons really had no hope of guarding Wemby. You guys have any thoughts on this game at all?
I love this game. I genuinely thought Stu did like a pretty good job for the most part. There were several instances where Wemby's just 7'5" and raises over him, but I still think Stu did like for the most part like a pretty excellent job. I thought he was physical with him and denied him off the ball quite a bit when he checked in. Because when Wemby was first out there being guarded by JD, recurring theme over these 4 games is JD not picking up on the perimeter, and Wemby just had. I mean, it's one thing to be 7'5", you're going to be open, but he was wide open for pretty much all of his shots. So I think Stu actually did a pretty damn good job. I thought his impact was pretty noticeable when he came back. He even met him at the summit one time, but I thought he made it difficult for him. I really enjoyed the sequence where Wemby put up a shot thinking he was getting 3 free throws and airballed by about 10 or 15 feet. Satisfying to not see that called, but Wemby was an absolute terror to us. It didn't help. I'm sure we'll talk about it in a bit. Asar going down right at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, let's just hit
But
that
like,
right now.
yeah, sure.
Asar, rolled his ankle 2 minutes into the game. In a very sad post-game interview, I think JB said there's no timetable for his return. ESPN, the injury report, has him listed as day to day.
I don't think that's right. Like
It says, well, hold on. The status says out, and then the comment is Pistons head coach JB Bickerstaff told reporters Saturday that Thompson is considered day to day with no timetable for return.
I think he just said it's gonna be a minute, word for word. Might just be a paraphrase, but like I think it's pretty evident the defense, the energy has dropped off, the deflections. I think you can evidently see that end of the ball.
Absolutely.
But I would also argue, and we can go into that, but I would also argue how lackluster we've been offensively. Interestingly, not having a star is kind of a big piece of that because especially kind of lacking a secondary creator. I thought Asar has been kind of filling into that role. His assist numbers have been up. His ability as like a connecting passer has been up. And it's pretty evident we lack any kind of juice outside of that because Kid gets doubled and then it's what? Danish Jenkins has been playing horrendously. Where do we go after that? Duncan's been kind of cold. So I think it's interesting. Like obviously the defense has suffered, but our half court offense has suffered too. Not only our like running
I
ability.
think part of it is that we're just seeing more half court offense. I mean, with the SAR out there, better
Yeah, that's what I'm
defenses,
saying.
like 5 stocks a game, are all leading to fast breaks and stuff. And it just is like we are now more reliant on half court offense, and the Pistons half court offense.
What do you think about Sar going down, Gabe?
Huh?
What have you noticed since since Asar has gone down? Like is it prove how valuable Asar maybe is, or is it something else?
I mean, definitely. And I think, like you said, right, the offensive connectiveness, I guess you'd say, has really dropped off a cliff. I do think it's mainly effort, honestly. Like, there's a lot of times where ball, especially on like a defensive rebound, would bounce on the floor, and like that never happens. And like it translates into offense. There's no movement. Tobias posts up, everyone's just standing there watching him.
Yeah.
Like it's just nothing is happening. We talked so much after the first Spurs game of like see what adjustments they make. JB said we're gonna watch the film. Defensively, we were better. Wemby's just like me and Mike have been saying, he is the best player in the world. Like there's nothing you can do. Offensively, Val, you're right. Like it's just like, is it just a star? Because then that's a problem. Because he's not like a good offensive player, and if he's like the engine to a good offense, it's a bit worrying. The Cleveland game I thought was all right. It was okay. And then it just kind of collapsed since then. Third quarter, the Nets were up 20. And then, yeah, I don't know. How do you explain that loss?
To the
I think
Nets.
JB
Spanish
explained it
Jenkins?
perfectly. I think
I
it's us
think
taking the foot off the gas, disrespecting our opponents, and like JB said, like the reason we're first place is it's not how good we shoot the ball. It's how freaking hard we play, and you can't just turn that off and on in an instant. And it was off, and we disrespected, I think, the Brooklyn Nets substantially. I think a lot of
yeah, there
individuals kind of disrespected. Jalen Duren kind of disrespected, I think, the Brooklyn Nets and everyone he was guarding.
absolutely. There's a certain type of like really good team that kind of can play cool and still win the games. Pistons are not that kind
Nope.
of team. We've talked about it over and over again. This whole Pistons game, winning game, is all about just mauling the other team. Just everybody. If you're not giving effort, you're not out there. Everybody's playing defense. Everybody's rebounding. Everybody's making quick passes. Everybody is trying, and that trying is what it is. And I mean, you said it, Jalen Duren.
Can we discuss like
Yeah, we can
'cause I know
discuss
I've
it.
been like notorious of criticizing him. I want to know what your like
The
opinions are.
the Nets game for sure. Um,
7 for
he
16
seems
without Cade.
like absolutely started the game like too cool for school. And we went to a couple times where it's like you guys have talked about like get the Jalen Duren post up instead of the Tobias post up. And when he posts up somebody that he just like thinks he can score on, he does this stupid right hand running hook where he doesn't put the body into him and just try to hooks it over. And he did it to Claxton, and Claxton just
Yeah.
immediately sent it back. Like
Same with Will Ware, I thought.
you have 100 pounds on this guy. You're like it's very nice. We all talk about how nice his touch is and how much it's developed, but it only really works if it goes hand in hand with him using his like otherworldly frame and strength and athleticism in conjunction with that. And when it's just like, oh, I've got touch, I can just do touch shots. I can be Şengün, I can be Jokic. It's like, no, you can't. And I saw in the Heat game, he took a little without doing anything. This is my last thing. Just the thing sticking in my head, and then you guys can talk. But like, there was a point where he caught it in the Heat game on the baseline from the mid range, and Duncan Robinson cut. I think it was Duncan cut down, and he was open for a pass to a layup. Duran, instead of just like making that pass, which is a lot of what the Pistons do, is like quick passing and like it makes offense happen. He sizes up, he pulls up for a midi, and he bricks it. And it's just like that's like the sort of thing where it's like, oh, I'm an all star now. I'm the man. Um, I can do this. But like he got there by being a dog. It's dog pound. It's not cool cats.
It's not
Dog
big.
pound.
Moving like once again, moving like vintage Andre Drummond. I thought in particular against Claxton when he hit him with his signature kind of I don't know, hezzy go right, get to the lay. I saw him do that, walk back or like run back and start shaking his head and smirk a little bit after getting Claxton. And I thought that was like putting us up around by 20 there, like later in the third quarter. And I thought from then on it was just like a detrimental downfall. I have a big like thing I really, really want to kind of combat Jalen Duren's like lack of energy, and that's simply like incorporating Paul Reed in as like playing with Stu. Like Stu and P Reed can work together, and any of those guys can work together with JD. Maybe not P Reed and JD, but Stu and JD certainly. We saw him play against Miami. I mean, he came in like it was garbage time, is what I'm saying, but he still comes in and produces. And I just think if we're struggling so much for like juice, for some energy, B-ball Paul's gonna make stuff happen. We're missing our stock numbers on the box score from Asar. B-ball Paul, he's a stock animal.
He played
I would
six
love to
minutes,
see him.
got 2 steals in one block against the
Exactly.
Heat.
And
I don't think
boys,
it'll solve the off-ball movement part because I think like when you look at our roster, Duncan and Asar and okay, sure, Kevin Huerter, I would argue are our only off-ball. I don't think anybody else is really a good off-ball mover, nor do they do it really at a high amount. Maybe Ron, but there's such a lack of movement in an already kind of stagnant, limited half-court offense. I think it's just a huge problem. But I think P. Reed and his energy is a very, very simple solution to some things. I think it might be a better solution than Kayvon than Kevin Huerter. But Gabe, what do you think? Slotting in P. Reed or like what's your answer to this? To Jalen
yeah,
Crash in particular?
exactly. He's been so weak that uh Dayron, don't call me shaded sharp,
Underrated player Dayron
He's
Sharp.
pretty
I love
solid.
his game.
had his way with him. Yeah, he was good, but yeah, the little what grinds my gears a little bit is the end of game rotations.
Mm.
Connie, you mentioned Sasser did turn his leg, but he's kept playing and he was in there and then he kept playing and then he was out for the last 4 minutes of that game and we made no adjustments and we just kept doing the old Dennis Jenkins kind of like running the show and he was not there. Earlier that game, I kind of wrote down that like this is the level he needs to play against to look good because he had a pretty good first half. And actually, my play of the week was going to be it was a Dennis Jenkins like pick and roll to I think it was Sasser underneath who flung it really quick to Duncan in the
Yeah, it was
corners.
a nice play.
Good offense until we just like gave up. Yeah. I don't know.
Valley Gate.
Maybe Herder isn't that guy either because he's been given a little bit of chance now, and
He,
he can't really make a
What
shot, can he?
was
I
the game he was nice
before
in?
before we
Spurs.
go before we go, Huerter, I have one final thing on JD. I just don't want to forget it.
Oh, and Paul Reed should play. We need energy.
Absolutely. My friend Jacob got his ball signed by basketball Paul Reed before the game against Brooklyn. He's got it in a case now. Um, but what do you think? Like, is it concerning to you, Jalen Duren's perimeter defense? I particularly know Wemby and him just like not being there, and in particular, it was infuriating to me to see like 20 seconds of great defense against Miami, and then Bam Adebayo is just butt naked in the corner, like time and time again. It was just kind of really pissing me off. It's been a theme, and I know I'm particularly harsh on him. Do you have worries about the perimeter D on him for him in particular?
I mean, compared to Wemby, he's slow-footed. Kind of notice that, and I think Bam as well. They're just both quicker guys than him, which is where maybe in a five out you want Stu instead. So that's not necessarily his fault. I think the positioning JD is like hammered, protect the rim. Um, but it is his fault. Like we mentioned that a lot earlier in the season and last year
Versus
when people just
Vucevic.
Vucevic, I remember Porzingis, who I remember like they're just wide open and he just like does a really late contest. So that is a concern, especially with more and more. I mean, who like I imagine like a Carl Anthony Towns, who else like a Vucevic, a Jason Tatum, even a small ball five, like that could really come to bite us because he is just he looks a little slow. I think the whole team looks slow. Cade was short on every shot. I think it's just grind. And then I have a point to make after you go, Connie.
I mean, sort of like you can't have everything, right? He is a super powerful interior big, and he's got a lot of muscle mass. He's got a lot of mass, and it's like there's not a whole lot of guys that can have that and also be good perimeter defenders. And he's like solid, obviously outmatched with Wemby. Every single center in the NBA is outmatched with Wemby, but like I'm not too worried about that. But I agree that I think it's like a lot of it is schematically like him being told to stick around the rim. And, they bet on some Bam Adebayo 3-pointers. And I don't think that's a terrible bet.
I think he was 0 for 5 the game before from
It was,
three.
but it
Yeah,
proved a pretty terrible bet because he shot 4 for 9 and they were all wide open.
sure. But like, it's a good game for him. And like, yeah, you could get a better contest.
I
But
bet if
like,
we watched the 0 for 5 too, I bet you he was more contested on the most of those
I'm,
questions.
I'm sure. I'm sure.
I think
Um,
That Miami game was the worst one I've seen all season, I think.
I would agree. I think that was probably our worst performance. I think second half of Brooklyn or fourth quarter of Brooklyn and then carried into that game, I thought was just the lowest I've ever seen this team like play, even when we're winning 14 games. I thought we could see more effort than that. I thought that was genuinely like
I
just
mean, like,
genuinely
yeah,
despicable.
last in March, 4 games for Bam Adebayo, including the 4 for 9 game against us. He's shooting 43% from the field and 19% from three. So it's like,
Still Bam Adebayo, man. You got to put some respect on the name.
not on the 3 point shot.
You do, man. I've got some real problems. I'm not trying to hate. I still think he has a role in the NBA. Dookie Danis. He's been kind of bad recently. I don't really want to poop on him, but his like
But you call him Doogie.
I take it back. But he's just been awful, I think, in every facet of the game. Not only offensively, like I don't know if it's him being on the scouting report, but like teams target him because he's tiny, and he'll get some steals every now and then, but he is undersized. It kind of annoys me how much he tries to poster people sometimes instead of just doing a much simpler
Who
play.
was it
It was
against
Wemby, wasn't
Carter
it?
Bryant? I thought
Well,
it
it
was
was Carter.
Carter
Okay,
Bryant.
okay, Carter Bryant. Either
Still an
way.
insane athlete wing.
Um, I think especially in terms of facilitating the offense, I know we had 9 against Miami assists, but I don't think he did a great job facilitating. Minus that game, he's averaging 0.9 assists a game since he got paid. He's had a 15 assist game, this season. I don't really know in terms of the facilitation what's happened there. Against Brooklyn, he took a horrible late shot, airballed left of the hoop on the
14
range.
seconds left on the shot clock.
Yeah, I think sometimes he
Fade
just kind of
away.
gets like he has that attitude that got him here, that like, I'm keeping track of everybody who got drafted ahead of me and I'm better than them. I think it's that attitude that's kind of shooting himself in the foot right now because I think it's stopping him from like making the right pass and constantly taking like just bad shots. Um, yeah, I think Danis on all ends has been bad, but I still have hope. Like I do think he can find it again. I do still back him to like be a contributing player on this team. There's a reason he got here, but I don't know what changes other than like as simple as it sounds, like letting the game come to him more and just moving it quicker.
Yeah, I mean, this was my thing when we argued about Danis versus Schroeder. I don't think Danis is a run the offense type of point guard. Like, it's not like I know where this is going to go. I want you to go here, and I'm going to pass it to you to get this assist or this hockey assist. It's more like this advantage has been created, and there's a guy open, and I can read that on the fly. And for him, I think the assists come when there's when there's an offensive threat to what he does, and there just hasn't been an offensive threat to what he does. I mean, he was 0 for 6 against the Spurs. He was a little better against the Brooklyn Nets. It's the Brooklyn Nets. He was 1 for 4 against the Heat. He was 2 for 4, 5 points against the Cleveland Cavaliers, and it just it's just a lot of bricks, man. I don't even feel like a lot of them are terrible shots. He gets, I feel, a lot of open threes, and he
Even his
just
free
doesn't.
throws, he had two way short in the last game.
Which is interesting because it's not like it's a lot of money. What did he get? 3 a year,
2 year 8, I think.
2 year 8. It's a lot of money, but it's mm, probably not life change. I mean, it's life changing money, but it's not something you can like live like certain guys like DeAndre Ayton. He gets the max contract, and it's like, and then the effort just falls off a cliff. Like he is still fighting for the next contract because the next contract would be where he actually gets some bread. And it's just interesting to me that like it just seems like since he signed that contract, since he's not a two-way player anymore, um,
Seems too cool for school.
it's just been off a cliff.
Not that
But
dirty dog.
that he's in the scouting report now, and
Yeah,
he
I see that a
gets
lot.
by surprise. It's his like burst of like first step is usually how he scores when he gets by people. When that's cut off, he goes into that step back, which just hasn't looked too good. People get cold. It happens. Um, yeah, I just like. What do you think of? Not necessarily him and Sasser starting together because that won't happen, but just Sasser kind of taking over his minutes a little bit because even though he doesn't run the offense either, when he takes a shot, I expect it to go in. I still do, and he's played decently well. Even though he's had some stuff go against him, hasn't been amazing. But I think he's more of a spark than Dennis is, and yeah, I think he deserves to play a little bit more, honestly.
I think it's why we started him. I don't think he's fully seized his opportunity, but I also like I don't think it's easy to just come in and like be on the sideline all season and have that impact. But like, yeah, especially in terms of space in the floor, I do always expect Sasser to hit his three, especially like his little step back that he loves to get to. But I don't think Sasser has necessarily seized the moment as much as he would have. I was hoping for a lot more against Miami with Karras out. Karras might be out for a little bit. We play 18 games in the month of March, so I think he'll get some more opportunity, especially if Vert is going to be out for a little bit. Um,
I wonder if that knee thing, because he looked better. I thought in that Brooklyn game before, like
yeah,
Dayron
but
Sharp kind of fell on his knee, bent really awkwardly, and like for a little guy like that, the burst, the power on the three, it's, like the knee can be really impactful. That's what I felt like in the Heat game. He didn't really have that zip.
So
Uh,
what's the change then? Is it just play harder?
like there's no other backup point guard. There's like
yeah, it's crazy how like a star falling out, like because a star facilitates as a ball handler sometimes too. It's crazy how it's just the drop off is too much for me. It's extremely concerning how much we've fallen off. And I just can't believe I know Asar is valuable, but I can't believe like I don't want to sound negative to Asar. I struggled to believe he's that valuable to our offense and our defense cooking. Because I feel like there were some cracks kind of even before he went down. Um, I hated starting Danis and Sasser, and then that moves Duncan to the three. That was a recipe for disaster. I think from the get-go. Um, Stu, I think, has been pretty good since coming back, but Kevin Huerter, I thought was kind of going to come through, and then he just seems like a shell of the guy we've at least been playing against for the last 5, 7 years. So much of a lack of confidence, and every time he makes a play, I'm like, oh shoot, it's going to come back, and then he, barely grazes the rim on a good look at a three. You looking for more Huerter minutes? Because I honestly don't know if I am. I know Chaz didn't hit his shots when he had that brief opportunity, but I think I'd rather put Chaz in, at this point because he's probably more of a realistic long-term piece than Kevin.
no. I mean, he hasn't been a good 3-point shooter since like 2023. Um, I don't know how much he's bringing to this team. Like,
I'd be happy to like, yeah. I mean, I guess maybe give him a few spot minutes. I'd like to see some more Javante Green, guy that always brings it. He at least spaces it with the fact that if he touches it, he shoots it. It doesn't mean it
yeah.
goes in, but he gets him up.
I think I heard her does some like cool stuff that's not shooting. He had a
Surprised me with
nice
everything else.
play with the Miami Heat where there was like a screen. He set a double screen that caused the double team to go to Cade. He flared out to three, and then he got a nice shot off of that. Um,
Moves really
I
good.
missed it. He moves well. He's just a shooter that can't shoot, unfortunately.
Got a crazy take. You know who moves a lot and never plays? Perhaps for good reason. Bobby Clintman, who played against Miami, 3 points, 2 assists. Are we that desperate?
Honestly, yeah. Let's like
He
we're
moves a
putting guys
ton.
out there that are like hard negatives right now. I feel like he moves a ton. He's not a point guard, but he has some passing chops. I think he could do some of that connective stuff. I mean, he can hit a 3-pointer too.
I think he's
He
a
can hit
pretty
a
good
three
shooter,
pointer.
honestly.
He's pretty big. I wouldn't mind seeing him over this a little bit of time. I want to see more Paul Reed, maybe a little more Bobby Clintman. We did see Chaz. He was over 2, but it happens. He's
What can you do?
but yeah, I mean, if we're gonna lose, we're gonna lose the games anyway. Play the young guys.
Yeah, I think my final like overarching takeaway is like I wanted obviously more intensity, but I feel like more
Yeah,
game plan would be nice. Like we have Brooklyn again tomorrow night. I thought like it was laughable to me that we weren't going at um what's the guy's name? Went to
Danny
Michigan.
Wolf.
Danny Wolf. I don't he can't stay in front of a cone. Like I couldn't
In
understand like
my mind, that's the perfect JD domination player. Like the first
how is
times we
it
saw
not?
like really good JD games, it was like against like Kelly Olynyk and who's the guy in Utah?
Filipowski
Kyle
or
Filipowski. And
If
something
he's
about
playing, Utah's losing. I'll tell you that.
slow-footed big white bigs. I just feel like JD should dominate, but nah.
even like
And
Clowney in the post, like it just upset me a little bit. Like I just
what
want to see more like game plan. Like, hey, this is what we're doing, and we're gonna crush them. I want to see us win by 50 points in the paint tomorrow against Brooklyn.
one thing
We've been shooting threes pretty good, and it's obviously not the answer. Like,
I'm a little worried about, which Gabe, you called the first Spurs game. You said, is this going to like provide the blueprint for teams being the Pistons? And I was like, no way. People don't have Wemby. Um, Cavs did it. I thought when the Nets made their comeback, it was just a packed paint the
Yeah.
whole time, and they got some big guys down there. They had like Day'Ron Sharp.
They outsized us like crazy. I was
Yeah,
really
it's
surprised.
why I
yeah.
didn't understand the Duncan Robinson at the three thing. I didn't understand the
Even
need to
even
like play
Clowney's
into their
big, yeah.
size. I
They just
like
had
that.
like Claxton, Danny Wolf, Noah Clowney, Day'Ron Sharp, just all just standing around the rim with their hands up whenever a shot went up, and it worked because it was just a series of bad shots on the interior that we missed, and that's something I'm a little worried about. Um,
Are you worried about Brooklyn, considering how hard they seem to stop us? Like,
no,
can they just do the same
No,
thing?
because
Or
we
this
should
next game
destroy them.
we have Kate Parker Cunningham
oh, that's
playing,
true.
and I'd like to see Noah Traore guard Kate Cunningham. Um,
He's got
um,
some Killian Hayes in him, doesn't he?
French,
he's just different. He looks better
French
than Killian
passing
Hayes.
lefty, French passing lefty. Killian
Yeah,
Hayes back in the league.
their backup, their backup guy. Uh,
Ben Saroff.
yeah, he is stinky.
He's
Um,
terrible.
I want to see. This is my last thing. I think I want to see Duncan Robinson shoot like 10 to 12 threes. I know he hasn't been shooting it the hottest, but like I'm just thinking about, and I maybe saw some highlights of Malik Beasley playing in Puerto Rico his first game. I just want to see Duncan shoot it more. Like even when he's getting 3, 4, 5, 6 looks a game, like not even from three. I understand it's difficult because he's our only true shooter, but I really want more emphasis on him getting up 10 threes a game. I don't care if he makes two of them. Like I just really want to see Duncan have a higher volume of shots from deep.
He's just
Uh,
not that guy, I think.
There's a fun fact on Killian Hayes. He's playing for the Nets. He's averaging 2.4 points, but
The
three
Nets
assists. He is shooting 17% from the floor, but over his 7 games, he's a +5
in Sacramento,
in
or yeah,
Sacramento. So
good
he's
for
a
him, man.
positive.
Same old story for Killian.
Yeah. All
I
right, you
guess
guys. Yeah.
yeah, last thing for me, overarching thing is like I've mentioned this before, the Tom Thibodeau, like play hard guys, play like your hearts out. It kind of wears on teams eventually. And I just wonder if eventually this is going to wear on us, where shots just keep coming up short. And when there's like nothing else to give, you just lose the game and you say, well, where's the offense? What's going on? So let's keep an eye out, see how like the morale is these games. Who do we play after the Nets?
Oh,
Yeah.
Connie was
So
just telling.
upcoming week, we've got again Brooklyn tomorrow, then on Thursday Philadelphia, Friday Memphis, and then next Sunday Toronto. To me,
You get
these
no
are.
break.
I mean, I'll give my prediction. I'm going to say 4-0. I think the Pistons bounce back. I think these teams suck. Um, I mean, Brooklyn and Memphis. It's insane we lost to Brooklyn because they're trying to lose. Philly has nobody. Maxey just went out. Toronto can't beat a good team. I think we're still a good team. So I think 4-0.
I know you say 4-0, and we kind of just like went in on them. Are you? I know we only have 3 minutes, but like, are you concerned? Even if we go 4-0, like, are you worried? I feel like we should address that as well.
I'm a little worried against like really good teams, but I also know that we are prisoners of the moment, and we get very up and down with this Pistons team where when things go good or bad. So, trying
Yeah.
to like see the bigger picture and see that we're still 45-15 or whatever,
We're
um,
17,
45-18. Sorry.
18. Oh man,
Um,
and
I
Tatum's
still
back.
think Tatum, Celtics are always
They're pretty good.
they're pretty good. But yeah, I think 4-0 because I mean this is not a strong slate of games, and generally our schedule, other than a couple of games, is pretty easy down the stretch here.
I think the same. I predicted last week, right, that we'd lose to Miami. But I did say 3-1, so I'll go 4-0.
Yeah, I'll buy into that. That gets me a little motivated and excited. 4-0, get back on track. But not just 4-0. Like I want to beat the shit out of the Nets. Like you just, no way we lost to them. Like retaliate. Beat them by 40 and then destroy them in the paint. I want to see statement wins. I want to see a statement 4-0.
All right, we all say 4-0. Let us know what you think. We're not getting down on the bad week, the bad past week. It feels weird to say, but there's still hope. There's still hope. We are still the first seed in the Eastern Conference. Yeah, so keep those buffs on, Detroit, because the future is still bright.